Some people create content while others create presence. Our guest today is a visual craftsman, a creative entrepreneur, and a storyteller in motion. He helps shape how brands look, feel, and move in the digital space. What's up, people? Quadinef. Welcome to another episode of your weekly podcast where we amplify the stories and the voices of young African creatives. Now, just like every other week, I have a guest with me on the show, and I'm always excited for every episode because every guest I bring here are people who I respect, people whose work I admire, and like I said, our guest for today is someone that I've been looking forward to have a sit down with. I have no other person but Cliff himself in the studio. Hi, Cliff.
Hi, Juma.
How do you feel? How are you doing?
Doing great. Can't complain. You look good.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Now, you are, like I said, you're a visual craftsman. You do a lot when it comes to, in the digital space.
Yeah.
You tell stories, you build brands. Now, it looks cool on the outside. We see how the videos move and we feel, the presence that you create with it, which looks exciting.
Yeah.
But I just want to start off with asking, is this something that you thought way back that you were going to be doing today?
Honestly, I didn't thought I would be doing all of this today.
Yeah.
Until when I started working at an automobile company. So it was a desire to push out the business on social media that made me to start looking for ways to create content, be it photos, videos, or the like. So as we started by just shooting pictures, like take pictures of the car, put it online, till I felt like maybe we should do something different. Started just shooting random videos. I didn't understand what I was doing, but I just loved it. So that's how it all started.
That's interesting because,
Yeah.
sometimes when you hear people talk about certain things they are currently doing, something that they knew way back that they were going to be doing, but
Yeah.
your own is like, it's a good coincidence, starting from, where you were working and decided to do something different.
Yeah.
And, there's this saying that you can't hope for a different result when you are doing the same thing over and over again. You have to, do something different to see a different result.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to take a step back, like on memory lane. Before you started working at the automobile, or let's go back right to childhood, right? What was the thing that you wanted to do the most? What were you thinking that, okay, when I grow up, just like we love to say, this is what I want to do?
Well, growing up, what I desired doing was to become an actor.
Really?
Yes, I wanted to become an actor. I had a chance to do a couple of movies as well. Yeah, so I had loved movies. I always like watching movies. So I developed that desire that, okay, when I grow up, I'll be an actor. So
Okay.
yeah, that was my dream when I was growing up before it changed to what I'm doing right now.
So when you wanted to, get into the acting scene, how was it like?
I mean, like my first
Yes.
day at it was great. It felt great. Like till now, if I have an opportunity to audition for a movie, I will show up. I'll still do it. I recently did a movie. I think in 2023.
Okay.
That was a Christian movie. So I'm still open, and if I see an opportunity for any audition, I would show up.
You definitely
I
show
would
up.
definitely show up. Garrett is my neighbor, so I was like, okay, bro, hey, anytime you have an opportunity, just link a brother up.
I think I'll move to your neighborhood so that maybe I can get into the acting scene,
Right.
So you've spoken about how you went into working for an automobile company and getting to this moment. So was there a particular, you've already spoken about how you just wanted to create content, right? Just for the company. So what was the exact moment where you decided, oh, I want to pursue this full time?
I realized that it was a problem. So I felt like, okay, what I'm doing right now is actually a solution to a lot of businesses. So after doing it with him at that automobile company for 4 good years, I felt like, okay, a lot of people were appreciating it. And I started visiting other platforms, and I was seeing that they were not doing the kind of content I was doing. So I realized that this is something I need to push forward. This is something I need to put more effort into. And it became my thing. And after working for that automobile for 4 years, I left from there, worked for another renewable energy company for 4 good years before resigning to say, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to be working for any other company. I would just be doing my thing for different brands all over.
Now, we've spoken about renewable energy over and over again. How
Yeah.
did the decision to work in that sector come about?
So when I left from the automobile company, and I wasn't doing anything by then, so they reached out to me and told me they do a lot of documentary. Like each project they have, they want it documented in pictures and in videos, especially videos. So they asked for a sample of my work, and I showed them, and they decided to bring me in to be creating video content for them. Like I travel with the technicians, and wherever they go to for each project, shoot the project from the beginning to the end. And at the end of the day, I produce, it could be like 3 minutes video content to tell the story of how the project went. It could be sometimes 1 minute to tell the story of how the project started to the end. Sometimes just create testimonials of the project from the clients to get the feedback of the project, how it's working out.
Interesting. Well, I know that we are already answering a lot of questions, but I love to play games a lot. Are you
Oh, I
ready?
see. Okay, let's go.
Okay, so the name of the game is This or That. So you have to pick between two things.
Will I have time to think well about this
No,
question?
just
Oh,
this or that. So you just
okay.
pick one.
All right, let's go.
So do you prefer a tight deadline or a long-term project?
A tight deadline.
Why? Now I'm curious.
Because pushes me. When it's a long-term project, I get lazy. So
Yeah,
when it's
like, oh, there's time. This is
yeah,
time for
when
me to do
there's
things.
time, and I lose my creativity along the way. So when it's a tight deadline, I'm pushed to do research. I'm pushed to do a lot of things to make sure that I produce the results that they want.
They want,
Yeah. So one thing I do is each time I shoot or create a video content for any brand, I make sure I deliver it at most the next day. So I prefer a tight
tight deadline.
Yeah.
Now I know the answer to this question, but I'm still going to ask. Do you prefer working at night or during the day?
At night, obviously.
It's so
Always at
obvious.
night, yeah.
So do you prefer solo projects or team projects or collaborative projects?
I like to collaborate with people when it comes to shooting. When it comes to editing solo.
Okay. I think I like the balance.
Yeah.
So Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts?
Instagram Reels, always.
So do you prefer to edit for a full day or a full day of shooting?
Edit for a full day.
Okay. So do you prefer when you have a structured plan or a spontaneous flow?
A structured plan.
Why is that?
A structured plan because it makes my work go faster. When it comes spontaneous, I get a little bit stressed and tense. I can easily get burnout. But when it's structured, I can do multiple shots, edit multiple shots in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I get you. You know, sometimes people like to go with what we call vibes.
Yeah.
And anyhow, but then when it's structured, you know, you're like, okay, when I'm done with this, I move to this
Yeah.
to the next level. So it kind of, you know, helps to put it all together. Now, you've spoken about, you know, telling stories of brands and through the work that you do. What do you think makes a good story?
What makes a good story? It's when the brand tells their story, like put an emotion into their story. I like it when the brand shares a story that relates with their audience. A lot of brands, audience like to know what happens behind the scene. So when any brand is creating any video, it's good once in a while to just show them what happens behind the scene. So I always enjoy those kind of moments when I'm shooting for a brand.
Okay. Now, you work with a lot of clients, and you know, clients can be a whole lot of headache with their with their vision that they want, their
Yeah.
needs. They just think, oh, you can just put this and this together and
Yeah.
it's going to give us what we want. They think as if it's magic, right? So how are you able to balance the creative vision that you have for a certain brand and also their needs that they have or the idea that they have in their heads?
I think what I've been doing, and I'm thinking of changing that, is that I always give enough time for reviews, because I like it when I deliver what the vision is. Like I share that vision, not actually all about me. So I always give time for a lot of reviews. Like we go through the project. If it's not what you want, we can review it and then change some few things. But some clients don't really complain. They just enjoy it when I do my thing. And when I deliver it, they appreciate it so well. The highest people that have bothered me when it comes to their vision, they keep changing things, have been Nigerians. Yeah,
Why do
Nigerians.
you think that's a
Because
problem?
it's not really a problem, but I'm saying I just believe that they feel like they believe so much in what they want to put out there, and if they're not seeing it in the result, they keep pushing out for changes. So the problem is not on my end. So when we deliver the work, they could go through it, review it, and another person will be like, why did we not add this? Maybe we should take out this. So I've had that back and forth
and forth, yeah.
so much, but with Nigerians. But when it comes to Cameroonians and some other countries, I've not really had too much reviews that much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now you've spoken about reviews, and just last week I was having a conversation with someone, and he delivered this work to the client, and the client, before the work, the client said he wanted something simple, just something basic. We all know that language, simple,
Yeah,
basic,
simple and basic, yeah.
just put it together. And he delivered to this client, and the client was like, no, you should add this and add this. And he finished and gave back to the client. The client said, why is it too simple? That it's too basic. But you had
That's what you
mentioned that
asked
it's
for.
simple and you wanted basic. But I think sometimes clients don't know what
Yeah.
they want. So how are you able to, help them bring their vision to life without making it look like you're making it all about you?
One thing I do too is before we decide on what we have to, the result you want, I like to have a meeting with you. We sit down, talk, share. I understand your story. I know why you want to create that particular video, that particular content. And then from there, I propose that, okay, I prefer that we do this. I prefer we shoot this. I prefer we shoot in this particular location. So I don't just go to them and say, okay, you say this is what you want, so give me, I'm going to create it. I prefer we sit down, talk, and then I understand your brand very well before we get into creating the video content. From there, I'll be able to propose or even show you samples of some kind of videos some kind of videos that we can create relating to the ideas you shared with me.
I think that makes a lot of sense because it's one thing for you to just want to deliver to your clients, but it's another thing to be able to understand the headspace of the brand, the vision, and also the values that
Yeah.
encompasses the brand. Now, how are you able to handle, like you've mentioned, reviews a lot? So I know it's another thing that creatives kind of have problems with the number of reviews. So how are you able to handle delivering the best of your quality and also knowing when to set boundaries for reviews and like all the back and forth that you experience?
When it comes to the multiple reviews, I always tell them that, okay, at this point, we need to take a break. Like I need to take a pause on your project because I have other project I'm working on.
Yeah.
So this needs to wait, and you don't really have a choice because it's not my fault that there's too much reviews. And when that happens, they always respect that. And I still have the time to work on the other project that I had pending to deliver them on time as well. So most of my reviews are done during the day. Like at night, I have the time to create the video content for other project that I had pending. So I prefer doing reviews during the day, and at night I create for the pending projects.
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you've decided to carve out your niche and also create your own business from what you are doing, which
Yeah.
is, storytelling, visual storytelling for brands and helping them, shape their stories. So what would you say entrepreneurship has taught you about yourself?
Entrepreneurship has taught me to be tolerant. I tolerate a lot, and my wife doesn't like that. I just sometimes I like to put myself in their shoes. To feel like what if it was me, and because of that, I've learned to tolerate, and I've learned to be patient as well with some clients. Some clients would come to you and they don't really know what they want, but you need to be patient with them and take your time to understand them. Have a couple of meetings with them as well, and then that takes time, but you need that what it requires for you to deliver good work for them.
Good work, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So, do you have any what's your craziest experience that you've had with a client so far?
Well, my craziest experience was recently with this client. So we were doing multiple reviews on the project, and she has a supervisor. So the supervisor would be like, "Okay, let's do it this way," and then we will agree. She would get back to me. I'm like, "Okay." The supervisor said we should do it this way, and I will change what we did. I did it first of all with her, and it was all good. She was, "Oh, this is perfect." So when she sent it to the supervisor would be like, "Okay, let's change these few things," and we'll do the changes. When she would send it to the supervisor would be like, "Yeah, this is good, but I feel like we should still change it this way." At one point, I was just like, "No, I'm done. Like I'm breaking out. This is really too much of me, and that's why from there I decided that I need to look into this multiple reviews that I decided to be giving to client, because it stresses you a lot, and at one point I feel like no, you cannot do anything at all. Because when you do multiple reviews on a particular project, you tend to lose the creativity, and you realize that the final result you even deliver, it's not even the kind of standard you were willing to give out there. Yeah. A lot of changes actually breaks the main idea, and it doesn't turn out good.
Absolutely. So, what's one hard lesson that entrepreneurship has taught you so far?
Always take half payment before you start a project. At least half.
You know why I'm laughing? Because just last week we were having this conversation with a friend
Yeah.
about a project that I had done, but I didn't ask for payments before the project started. So when I finished the project and the person asked for a review, I did another review, and this person was like, "Oh, they're not even impressed with the work, so they're not even going to pay at all." And I was losing my mind literally, because
can
to me, I
imagine.
had poured my heart into that project. And how do you tell me that you're not even impressed? So I should just leave it, because at the end of the day, the person might end up using it. It'd be like, okay, I
Yeah,
already
yeah.
have the work, so I can still use it for whatever
They have it
purpose.
already with
And
them.
I also think it's something that creatives suffer a lot, because they are mostly about the passion they have for what they do. So most times they run headlong into, doing the work without forgetting, the business side. Now, still talking about that, how are you able to, balance creativity and building and maintaining a business?
So it's a lot, but I'm trying. So I always just put a lot of energy, creating, and on the other side, I'm bringing up my wife to manage the business. So she's been the one helping for now. So before now, I used to create. I used to be the one who would do all the documentary, like all the documents that is required, do all the work, and it became too heavy on me. So I felt like I needed help, and my wife stepped in, and she's been the one helping. So I have help.
I think it's good having a balance. Somebody that is logical and the person that is passionate. Yes,
Yeah.
need for that balance even in companies, because if it's just one person doing it, sometimes your emotions, just like you said, you
Yeah.
can be a lot more tolerant than you are supposed to be.
Yeah.
You're supposed to kind of maybe have fees for reviews. You can say, okay, for this amount you're paying, you are entitled to maybe one or two reviews. After that, it's going to be paid.
Yeah,
But
that's
most
true.
times, you are most about, okay, let's just want to do a very good job. Let's
Yeah.
just do it. Let's make the client happy. But then I'm happy that you have help, and you're doing an amazing job, by the way.
Thank
And how
you.
you're able to craft stories, put them together, is something really, really beautiful.
Thank
And
you.
you know that everybody, we're in an age or an era where everybody is creating content, but
That's
not
true.
every content is telling a story or very compelling, to connect with the audience that we're trying to meet. So in a space like Cameroon's digital space that is constantly evolving, what do you think excites you the most?
The fact that they're transitioning to Instagram more than Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah. So before, a lot of Cameroonians were, their main focus was just to be on
Be on
Facebook.
Facebook.
Facebook. So I feel like I just like the fact that most businesses, most entrepreneurs are moving to Instagram right now. Instagram actually sells a lot more than Facebook and LinkedIn to me.
Okay.
Yeah, Instagram has worked for me, and I feel like that's worked already too for a lot of brands out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why do you think that it works better than on Facebook or other platforms?
Facebook to me is just an open market. Like it's too crowded with a lot of people.
Yeah.
You can't really get paying customers on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is just like for friends,
Yeah, for friends,
family,
families, just
classmates.
exactly. But when it comes to Instagram, to me, that's where real business is. Yeah, not. I don't. I can't really say much about LinkedIn, but I feel like Instagram has been the best platform for real businesses. Like if you want to put your business out there online, use Instagram. You can. An alternative could be Facebook and the LinkedIn and TikTok as well, but Instagram is the best for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you deal with like moments of maybe burnout or self-doubt? How are you able to rejuvenate yourself, get yourself back on your feet?
Coffee, of course.
I didn't see that coming.
I love coffee, honestly.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm trying to slow down my intake of coffee as well, but it's not easy. So people have addicts, but mine, I think it's coffee. I think I'm addicted a lot to coffee, and I'm trying to slow down on it. So each time I'm burnt out, I just take a cup of coffee, listen to some cool music, and I'm back on my feet.
I honestly didn't see that coming. I'm also a lover of coffee. I love
Right.
coffee so much. So you talking about coffee, I actually understand you coming from there. Now, you have there are many young Cameroonians who are coming up in the digital space, trying to tell stories, trying to craft content. What is one lesson you didn't learn at the beginning of your journey that you would like to share with somebody who is just starting out?
One lesson that I didn't learn when I was just starting was pricing. Yeah. It took me time to be able to understand and to know how to price my job, price my work. And what I've been able to do now is I charge per hour, and I also charge per the length of the videos that I'm to work on. And that's how it's helped me. But it's really still difficult till now for someone that is still coming up to be able to take my pricing policy and implement on theirs. Because the my prices has changed as time goes by.
Absolutely.
Because the craft has also improved, the tools have also changed, and so if I tell them that you can charge 25,000 for an hour, they'll look at it like, okay, this is too much probably. So it's just something that you need to understand while you're starting, that okay, your price will change with time, and as well know how to charge per hour. Start looking at, okay, the hours you put in shooting, the hours you put in editing as well, and the length of the videos that you're able to produce. Yeah.
I think that's something good. And also you spoke about how your prices change over time, because sometimes we can be stuck in one level even though
Yeah.
we're improving. But as you are like improving the quality of your work, it's also supposed to be evidence that as you're improving the quality of your work, your prices also,
Yeah.
evolve with time, because you're building a business.
Yeah.
It's not just something because everybody can pick up their phones to create content, but then telling your story is something that is very intentional. So you should be able to, reflect that.
One
Do
thing
you
I've
have
noticed too is that as you improve the quality of your work, the quality of your clients to
clients change?
change as well.
Yeah.
So that's how the process is.
I think it all comes down to branding, or as we use the most layman terms, packaging.
Packaging, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So is there a particular project that you've done that is the best for you, that you've enjoyed doing that, and why?
Is there any? I think I love every project that I do. I enjoy all of them. Like, so there's no particular one that I can say I love the most. Each time I finish a project, I deliver it to the client, and I see them posting it. I always go back on it time and again, time and again. But the recent project that I did was, as I was in Nigeria, the the way the people were excited about it, the way they were happy, and the kind of views that was on those particular posts they made. I felt so happy. I create video content for TTC, the Transforming Church in Abuja. So when I was seeing the results and seeing how engaging it was, I felt so blessed. Yeah.
So do you have certain values that helps you navigate your work?
For values, do I really have?
Maybe values or principles that you stand by, when it comes to work, that guides the way you work, the way interact with your clients, or the quality of work that you put out.
I would say the principle that I use when that I stand by when I work with client, it's the fact that I do not allow you pick out the music or background music for me, and the kind of music that I pick up for the client, I make sure that it ties with the video, and this is because when working on my videos, I like to cut in on the beat, and this has been what has distinguished me. And another principle that I don't like watermark on my videos.
You don't like
Watermark
watermarks? Okay.
on videos. So most of the clients that I've worked with, if they prefer that I put watermark on their videos, there's an extra fee on them. And if I'm to share their work on my social media platforms, there's an extra fee too on the videos. So those are some of the principles that I've been working with some clients.
That's really interesting, because most times when people like shoot, they always want to directly put their watermark, and like, okay, so that if another person sees, they know that it's my work. For you, why was that important for you to put that as a principle?
When I started working with some organizations, they always like that we sign an NDA, like then the work is not supposed to be disclosed, that it was done by me and all of that. So I felt like a lot of people do the watermark stuff. So let me do something different.
Different.
Yes, by not putting watermark. But there's a way people that are close to me would see my work and know that this
I
was
know that
done.
it's you,
This
yes.
was done by Cleve. So I have my way of crafting the videos that would tell somebody that this was my work, rather than the watermark, because the watermark sometimes it sits there and it distracts the audience from getting the message that was supposed to be passed through that particular video. So somebody's watching, and at one point, okay, maybe there's a text that you're supposed to read and understand something. You're confused between that text and the watermark. So the watermark sometimes, to me, it's like a distraction on each videos that I create.
I think this is the first time I'm actually hearing that, and I'm really impressed. And it goes to show how much you're intentional about your work and how you want to stand out. Because like I said at the beginning, it's a market that everybody can get into, but what makes you stand out, what makes you unique is, what will keep your business going. So
Yeah.
what would you say, in your own opinion, what are the ways that creatives can be able to build a sustainable brand or business?
First of all, what has pushed me to where I am, it's the fact that I've always loved to learn. Like I keep learning, and I like to collaborate and reach out to other people that I look up to. So for us creative to be able to stand out, keep on growing, we need to collaborate. Like, don't feel like you know it all. If you're struggling at one point, reach out to someone and say, okay, this is what I'm struggling with. And if the person understands and knows how to help, the person will help you. And if you can't get help, reach out to other people. I actually I've joined a lot of communities so far of creatives in and out of the country. Some paid, some free. This is just because I want to also learn some of the things that I struggle with and also collaborate with other creatives that are out there. And this has also given me the opportunity to be able to have international jobs since I belong in those communities. When there's an opportunity, they always share it on those platforms, on those groups, and you can easily pick it up once as you're a creative belonging to that particular community.
And like I said, you're being so intentional about your work, because anybody will think, oh, it's just content,
Yeah.
I can just do it around me or people around me. But you're not just thinking locally, you're thinking internationally, you're thinking
Yeah.
about, building a business that supersedes you and supersedes, what you do.
Yeah.
So we know what you do, we know why you do what you do. So what do you think is something you want to be remembered for personally? What's something you want to be remembered for?
Personally, I want to be remembered for the kind of videos that I create, honestly. And each time I go somewhere, I make sure that I leave footprint, be it with the work I've done or with the guides I've given to the people that I met there. So that's what I want to be remembered for. Like, when I'm gone, they should know that, hey, Cliff helped us to achieve this. Cliff assisted us in getting this result. So yeah, that's it.
You whenever I listen to you talk, it's like you have your whole life mapped out. You're so intentional about even the first step you take, everything you do in the morning. But I really love it, and it goes to show or see how your work speaks for itself, and you continue to make efforts, conscious efforts,
Yeah.
making it better and also better the lives of the people around you. So let's leave work for a bit. So
Okay.
if you are not working, what do you do to relax, to have a good time? What do you do?
I'm either drinking coffee,
Let's leave coffee for a while.
watching a movie,
Okay.
or playing tennis.
What's your favorite movie?
I love Black American movies.
Do you have a particular one that you love?
So far as comedy, Black American, I just love them.
Okay, just Black American comedy.
Black American comedy, romance as well.
Okay. So tennis, I didn't see you as a tennis player. What type of tennis? Table tennis, lawn tennis?
Long tennis. So it was in my vision board as part of my routine. Work just cut me off at one point to play tennis, lawn tennis every weekend.
Okay.
Along the way, the work became just too much, and I wasn't able to keep it up with that. So I love lawn tennis, and I love playing basketball as well. But I'm not good at basketball.
No, you don't have to be good at it.
Yeah,
It's a
so
hobby. It's just
I
because
love
it's
it.
something you enjoy doing.
And what I've been playing so much lately, before now, has been lawn tennis.
I think for me it has been table tennis, though I haven't played in a while, but
Okay.
I actually enjoy playing table tennis and volleyball, which was years ago, but
Oh,
don't look
yeah.
at my height. Don't look at my height to confirm anything, but I used to love playing volleyball and
Wow.
badminton.
Okay.
I really, really enjoy badminton. I think if I'm to pick a game now, it should be badminton. I actually love it. Though I
Same.
haven't done any sports in a while, but I'm trying to, start that side of myself again.
Yeah.
Please don't look at my height to confirm anything.
I think the height doesn't really matter,
Yeah,
honestly.
as
Yeah.
far as you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah.
So
Just do your thing.
not all of us have to win championships, please.
Right?
But then it has really been exciting having you. But then,
Thank
like I
you.
said, I love playing games. So we're going to do a game where I start a sentence and you complete without thinking about it, without thinking too much.
It's about to go down.
Are you ready?
Okay, yeah, I'm ready.
In 5 years' time, I'll be.
Uh,
Don't think too much.
let's start it all over.
Okay. In 5 years' time, I will be.
A billionaire.
Amen. If I wasn't a storyteller, I would be.
An actor.
If I could work with any brand today, it will be.
Adidas.
I'm going to come back to these answers very soon. The best lesson I've learned over the years is.
To ask for half payment before starting a project.
The best thing about entrepreneurship is.
The freedom you get sometimes.
Thank you for adding sometimes.
Sometimes. Yeah.
A content is truly a story when.
When you share the emotions.
A creative can be.
I'll put it back at you. A creative can be.
No, a creative can be anything.
All right.
Yeah, I
A
think
creative can be anything.
yeah, because when you're creative, you can innovate, you can create,
yeah.
you can
That's
you can
true.
just be.
That's true. A creative can be anything, true.
Yeah.
Because I happen to start gaining knowledge from the few brands that I've worked with. For example, this renewable energy company that I've worked with,
Yeah.
I worked so much with the technical guys, and at one point I was already speaking their technical terms,
So you can be anything.
you can
because
be
you tell
anything, right?
stories of any aspect.
Yeah, that's true.
Can be a hospital, but then
Yeah.
for that day, even as an actor, you can
Yeah.
be anything. So
That's true.
So let's go back to Adidas. Why Adidas?
Now, I just feel like, I just imagine myself creating a video content for them. And the way their logo is, is it the stripe?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's the stripes in
Yes.
3 different.
I just see myself peeling it off one after another and then animating just
Just the logo.
just the logo on a shoe.
Sure. Wow. But you can still do it, shoot your shot at them.
Yeah, I can do that. But I feel like when brands like that, I've tried, just creating content for some brand like that. Then you reach out to them and maybe tag them. Some would just say thank you, and I felt at one point like maybe the location too matters, where you're creating from, or maybe the craft wasn't that appealing to them so well. But I will do that. I'll walk into that and make sure they reach out to me. I sign a deal with them.
Of course, you heard it first on Quite Enough. So when you see it, you know that we prophesied it into existence.
It started here.
But I'm really looking forward to, everything you do after this, all the brands you get to work with, and just live to the highest peak of self-expression. Now, before I let you go, there's an exercise I make all my guests to do.
Oh
right?
my.
If you could write a letter to your young self, how would that letter look like? So let me start off the letter for you.
Okay.
Dear Cliff, you have the floor.
That's all you're going to start with.
Yes, dear Cliff, comma.
It's with great honor to write to you from 2025. I'm writing to let you know that whatever you put your mind into, do it. The most important thing is to get started. And in the process, you will learn and grow and understand, and it will pay off someday. I love you so much. Keep doing your thing. God bless you.
Amen. That was a really beautiful letter, and I hope your young self is proud, and your
Yeah.
future self would, thank you for all the steps you are taking to, building a sustainable and also an intentional future for yourself and your
Amen.
very beautiful wife.
Thank you.
So we're giving a shout out to her.
Shout out.
Before we even leave, I want to ask you, do you know the first time we met? Let me see if you can remember. I can remember. I want to see if you can.
I'm trying to remember.
Let me give you a hint.
Okay.
In 2022.
Yes. That's not enough hint.
No, that's a hint. I've given you a year. Because we don't see each other a lot in a year. So at least
I was
I've
thinking
narrowed
you
it
you
down.
talk about the location.
Okay, location. Let me see. Obobogo.
Oh, 2022 Obobogo.
There was an event.
Was it this Percy's event?
No. No. Percy's event was like 2023, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
It was at Royal Obobogo. It was an event.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was the first time we met.
Yes, that was the first time we met. I was doing the red carpet.
Yeah,
and that was the first time I met you. I was with Grace Lens.
Yes, I remember
she was
that.
the videographer. Yeah.
Oh.
You see, I still remember. I have a short memory.
Yeah, you do. I have a terrible memory, honestly. Forgive me.
No,
and I felt like, why do I feel like that wasn't the first time?
That was the first time. That was the first time because I can remember when Grace was like, okay, this is this person, and he spoke about you.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That was the first time.
That's great.
We've come a long way. It's 3 years now.
2 years now of knowing you.
Yeah.
And within that 2 years, we've now met a lot. But we meet a lot on social media. Instagram. I see you almost like every day.
I mean, that's your domain. You said you prefer Instagram to everywhere. So that's most definitely, the world is now a global village. So you can meet people and do everything online. But then it has been such a pleasure to have you and, host you on the podcast. And I'm looking forward to all the amazing things that you do.
Thank you.
And wishing you all the best in your career. And to everybody who wants to work with Cliff, this is your time before we up our price.
Please.
So thank you guys for watching this week's episode of Quite Enough. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, and if there's somebody you'd like to see on the episode, make sure to tell us, and also follow us on our different social media platforms. Catch you on the next episode. I remain your host, The Voice Gemma, and always remember there is something inside of you that the world needs to hear.